Good morning, or maybe I should say good afternoon to you guys, because I normally post these on Friday in the afternoon, but this week I'm in Jamaica. I don't have a lot of updates to provide you, but I am going to be talking a little bit about what I'm seeing in the market here. Well, not here, but in Vero Beach in the Sebastian region. So what we've been noticing is if you are interested in a new construction home, there really is no better time to do that than right now, and I'll tell you why. We are seeing a ton of builder incentives coming into place right now, and I know DR Horton, for instance, they're doing quite a bit just north of Sebastian and Crystal Bay. They still have a ton of inventory, a lot of places to look forward to there, and they're taking 10, 15, sometimes $1,000 off, along with some amazing lock-in rates that you could do with your interest rate. I know the last quote that I got from a client whenever they were told was about 4.5%, which is still very low comparative to where we are with the rest of the lenders right now. So you can lock in 4.5%, get some closing costs paid, and also be able to take advantage of those incentives that they're giving as well. We're seeing a lot of other builders such as Adams Homes releasing a ton of properties in the Sebastian Highlands area. So if you're not an HOA type of person, if you don't want to deal with the rules and regulations and the monthly fees that may go up that HOAs have to deal with, then you can look into an Adams home here, which is they have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath version. They have 4-bedroom, 2 baths, 4-bedroom, 3 baths, all falling within the $350,000 to $420,000 range, depending on what size of home that you will need. They're all built on about standard size lots, so we're talking just a little bit under 1/4 of an acre in these Sebastian Highlands homes that we're releasing there. So that's another good thing. Now I wanted to talk to you about what I'm seeing as far as price reductions happening. So I know in my last video I went over statistics with the price reductions, and the ones that we're seeing, the most price reductions we're seeing on the market are fixer-uppers, and I'll give you my theory as to why I think fixer-uppers are sitting on the market more than they used to. Most people are sitting on the sidelines right now. They're waiting to see if Florida's really gonna see this crazy crash that that everyone's talking about. Is Vero Beach and Sebastian gonna see this crash? We don't know. People are sitting on the sidelines, and I think that is what is holding up a lot of these properties from being bought. It's not necessarily the economy and people aren't ready to buy just yet, but maybe that it will eventually turn into it. But a lot of people are sitting on the sidelines right now, and what they don't want to do, the number one thing that they don't want to do, is put in a bunch of money in a house. So pay top dollar, in their mind, paying top dollar for a house that needs work, number one. And then number two, dumping 10, 20, 30, 50, even $100,000 into renovations to get to the property to where they want it to be. And by the time that they do that, they were already paying top dollar for a fixer-upper property, and then went further in the hole 10, 20, 30, 50 grand to do their renovations. And that just doesn't make sense for a lot of people, especially in a downturning market. So we're seeing that happening right now. Another price point, or another type of property that we're seeing sit on the market more so than normal, are anything above the median price point here at Vero Beach. Things sitting below the median price point, $375,000, $350,000, those are still moving very quickly if they're turnkey move-in ready. But the houses that are $500,000, $600,000, even if they're turnkey, most people don't want to pull the trigger on those types of homes just yet, because they feel that that if a downturn in the market happens, that they will be willing to lose more. So let's say you buy a condo for $190,000. I have one coming up for around that price. We may price it up a little bit more because he's doing some renovations to it. But if you have a condo that you buy for about, let's say $190,000, $200,000, and a reduction in the market happens, a correction happens, really what you're sitting in is about $150,000 condo. I mean, it doesn't get much lower than that. The barrier to entry to get into Vero Beach and Sebastian, and in a place where we share these types of waters, it doesn't really go below that amount as far as worth, in my opinion. Another thing is, so if you're in a $600-700 million home and a correction happens, number one, that's a lot harder of a buyer to find for that property, number one. And then number two, you could take a much bigger hit. That $500,000 home, if you take a certain percentage of correction, they tend to get hit harder because they're in a higher price point. So it could turn into a $300,000 home. So instead of being 50 grand in the hole or 40 grand in the hole, you're now $200,000 in the hole. So that's what we're seeing, and I think that's what the main thought process is going on with people when thinking about buying a house in Vero. So yes, if your belief is that we are still going to see a leveling off in the market, and I'll tell you what my belief is here too in just a second. But if you kind of stand with me and think that Florida may see a little bit of this correction, but I honestly believe that Florida was just underpriced from the beginning. I mean, I saw a house here, and I'll put it up on the screen if I can find it. A house in 2018 sold for about $350,000 to get on the beach. That is the $1 million island, and just a few years ago, 4 years ago, people were buying it for $350,000. That makes no sense to me at all. I don't think we will ever get to that point again to where you could pick up a house that cheap on the island. That's just my prediction. And we'll have to go. We have to see from that point on. So yes, I did just tell you that is what I personally think is happening in the market right now, is that Florida is seeing a new norm in the prices. I think that it was an underpriced state from the start. I think that with more people moving and working remote than they used to before, that we are going to start seeing that Florida's just going to be priced at a different point. You used to have to be a couple miles away from the office, 10, 20, 30-minute drive, but now a lot of people are spreading out across the United States. They don't have to be 5 minutes away from their office anymore, and they can choose to live wherever they want. And who wouldn't want to choose to live in paradise? I mean, it's middle of July right now, and it's honestly still really pretty with this breeze. I don't know how the quality of this video is going to be with all of this wind here. I may have to re-record it, but oh well. If I have to do that, I have to do that. But thanks again, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and jump back over to the pool, meet my wife. We're still on vacation, so I wanted to still get this video out and not miss one for you. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and if you have any questions or concerns about moving down to Vero Beach or Sebastian, you have to give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email, because I promise I will have your back when making that move to the east coast of Florida. You guys have a great rest of your week. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.